This is unbelievable. You're listening to episode 16. And it's a good one, you know.
I was like, I did not wake up for this.
Bro, what was that?
We're cooked, chat.
Oh, geeking.
I did not wake up for that.
You did, and you woke up to record episode 16. Welcome back to the I Don't Even Know show.
I should have just stayed in bed.
That's 1-0 for you.
With our guest this evening, we have Sam Krivulka. Oh, man.
The boo and the applause mixed together is...
Got mixed reviews.
I'll just boo if you want me to.
I think his mic turned off again.
His mic is definitely off again.
Does that thing need to be charged?
Jake, stay on
I've
that.
been charging it all day.
Or am I not talking?
Oh, he's there now.
got
I
it
gotta,
now.
do I think I gotta make love to this thing? Is that what I gotta do?
Maybe it
Okay.
turns off when you're not talking to it. I don't know.
It's flashing red.
Okay.
Is
There
that
we
a
go.
good thing?
I don't think
Is that
it's
a problem?
charged.
I gotta.
Well,
I gotta
plug it in.
Get right
Yeah,
in
can
there.
we get a charger over here?
I mean, it seems to. Maybe if I'm close enough.
Technical
one of those
difficulties.
USB-Cs should take care of it.
Yeah, the microphone's more important than your phone, Kale.
Yeah.
What are you at?
28.
There it.
I'm
Is
at
that
40.
it?
There we
Good.
go.
Now we got him.
Now we hear
Yeah.
It's
some.
all straight.
I've got
green.
to lean in.
Now it's red again.
Okay.
That's hard. It's just charging. We're good. We're good.
Christmas colors. It's doing great.
All right. Great start, guys.
What you messing with,
I
Jake?
didn't wake up for this.
Well, glad
Yeah, I don't remember where I was at.
You just introduced.
you were introducing
yeah.
me.
I don't remember where I was going after that.
Technical difficulties.
Okay.
All right. Join with me tonight is Tito,
Hi.
Kale,
How you doing?
Mark,
Yo.
and Narv.
Hey.
Nappy Narv.
Yep.
We got a lot of big nappers here today.
So before we get down to the nitty grit, Mark, will you get over there and
A
sit down?
whippersnapper.
Before we get down to the old nitty gritty of our interview process here, Sam.
Yes.
No, this isn't just a question for you.
Oh,
Yes,
I have a
it is.
question for everybody here.
Oh.
I heard this on the radio today.
Cap.
Do you guys think that Superman is human?
No.
Huh? Do you think he's a human?
No.
I mean, the only way he'd be human is if whatever planet he was from was once the human race.
He's an alien. That's what
He's
he
from a
is.
different planet.
Yeah, that was my thought. He's an alien.
So humans are only from Earth?
That we know of. In my
It
opinion.
depends on the universe.
Unless they moved away.
What universe is he in?
Unless somebody pulled an Elon before Elon.
But he can fly, so he's an alien. But he's also Superman. So
I mean, the description
What
says...
channel were you listening to?
don't worry about it.
Was this before or after your nap?
It was
This was
during.
during. I must have dreamt this.
The planet Krypton. Why? Oh, let's
found some
let's
mushrooms
change
on a
subjects.
Is
What would you like- what
Batman
would you like-
human?
Yes, Batman is human. Trust me, I've watched every single movie.
Who's your favorite?
Batman.
Heath Ledger.
Superman's gay.
I agree. I don't understand the hype around Superman.
He's the most basic superhero.
He really is.
And people think that Batman is, well, Batman has to work for it. Superman just...
Batman's smart and he's resourceful. Superman's just gay.
You notice how he's wearing a Superman shirt and he's wearing
Is he?
Bat-
Is he really?
I noticed that early on.
Hold on a second.
So Jake was like on the attack against Marcus right now. He's like,
Sorry, Mark, you're gay.
So he didn't hear this on the radio. He just saw the shirt.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I heard
okay.
it on the radio.
He's listening to that PBS channel or something.
Typical Jake starting stuff.
Captain boys.
Put that away. This isn't Cap.
I'm not taking my headphones off.
Yeah, it's too much work. And I'm not camping myself. camping myself.
So
Where's
what
our
else did you hear on the radio?
Where's our dessert at?
Hey, where is our dessert at?
Oh, I was told
At home.
I was told your mother was going to make it. You said that.
Your
Wait,
mom.
That was your very words. My mom makes dessert.
What? Are you gay?
She's not
So-
here this weekend.
So why didn't you fill in for
Yeah,
her?
Kale, where's the dessert?
Cake. Where's she at? Yeah, go get the cake.
I got home from work and came straight here after I showered, so I didn't have time to go get dessert.
Actually, I kind of fumbled this one because there's 12 donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, sitting on my dining room table from the neighbor.
They're still on your table.
No, we got another
She just loves giving you guys
12?
random food.
pack. Dozen. There it is. Duh.
No wonder he's getting chunky over there.
Good morning. Want some
Haven't eaten
donuts?
any of them.
Jake's just like,
Sharon's
"Yes."
single-handedly making Jake fat.
No, Sharon gives me, let's see, cupcakes, strawberry shortcake.
So yeah, Sharon
brownie.
single-handedly
Yeah, she
making you
is.
fat.
Yep.
Pizza.
Who's Sharon?
The neighbor
We're
we're
home
connected
before
to. She's great.
She just gives it right to you, not your wife or kid.
Well, since Katie's gluten free, she can't eat half the stuff. So
Yeah, Jake is going to be climbing
Oh,
trees
man.
soon.
He already
I'm
ate.
too fat. I'll join in with the rest of them.
Exciting here, guys. This is
What are you looking at?
Huh?
I can't tell what you're looking
I
at.
had my eyes closed.
Oh.
He's still thinking about Superman in the radio.
I was thinking about it.
The most annoying thing about the Batman movies is when you get to a scene and people are like, "Hey, you know this wasn't scripted."
All right, well, so we're going to go away from that. How many certifications do you have?
certifications do I have? None right now. I just
Okay.
most of everything I know is from being on the job. I mean, I could get certifications.
Okay.
He's
Just-
doing it illegally.
Yeah.
Cut that.
Yeah.
Got
I
him.
grew up in a time when it wasn't a big deal. You know, when I started in tree work in 91, 92, guys were doing it and things like that, but it's not as big as it back then as it is today. I mean, people actually know what a certified arborist is today. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like years ago, people would say, "Oh, you're just an arborist." You know, you're just well, back then it was tree surgeon. That was the big thing. You're a tree surgeon. You know, so I could get away with telling people I was a doctor. You know, but now it's arborist. That's a big thing. They certified arborist, and I get it. You know, it gives people a little more ease of mind. You know, peace of mind calling of someone that says, "Hey, he's a arborist. Arborist. He's been through the books and knows it and everything like that." But yeah, they know a few more things than I do, but not much.
Okay.
At least I would think.
Sorry. What got you into tree work?
Pretty much my dad. He was doing it when I was a kid. I mean, growing up, that's all I remember him doing. He learned it back in like 1967, 68. And he was doing electrical, but he would do tree work on the side. And so I grew up, we did small jobs here and there together. And then when I graduated high school, he was doing tree work. So I kind of just fell into it. Didn't really have much choice, I guess. It found me, I didn't find it, kind of thing. So, but I enjoy it. I do. I like what I do. Being out there, I like the work. I like being up in the tree, being up in the bucket truck. So, it's nice. 75 feet up is nice, right, Jake?
No.
No,
No. No.
no.
Not for
I
me.
thought you enjoyed it. I mean, you're strapped in.
I think I enjoy being on a rope more than I do, and then I like being in a lift or
Mm-hmm.
in the bucket.
You don't have the roof's not shaking underneath you.
The roof.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you said, right?
What?
He said a rope.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
Like a roof is shaking.
He's used to that.
I'm used to being on roofs, so that's my background.
Yeah. Well, being on a rope is more secure. You feel, you've got more control. If you're in a bucket truck, you're at the mercy of the bucket. If a hydraulic line breaks or something breaks down with the truck. On a rope, it's up to your skill. Making sure you're tied in properly. You're secure when you make your cuts and move around, things like that. So, it's a lot of guys had a tough time moving from a rope to the bucket truck because there's just so much sway, and that there's a lot of sway with the bucket. But being in the tree is very nice, especially you get up there, especially if you have a big tree by yourself. It's up there, you're working away. Yeah, it's kind of peaceful. It's not. Especially if you're the boss, you're in charge. So, so that's me. But yeah. So, but no, it's just kind of stuck with it. I didn't really have much opportunity to do much else, I guess. My dad, he kind of pushed me away from being an electrician. I thought growing up I was going to be an electrician. That's all he ever did, really, mostly. And then he's like, nah, you don't want to be an electrician. You don't want to do that. All right, what do I want to do, Dad? Then it finally became trees, He wanted me to be a pastor. He wanted all of his kids to go into ministry, and none of them did. But I have one brother. He's not a pastor, but he's really big in the church he's at down in Indiana. He's really almost like an assistant pastor, really, but he's not technically a pastor. So, but yeah, but that's how it is for me. I couldn't switch now. I'm too old. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I'm trying to switch things in as far as with, the industry a bit for me. It's not very exciting, but it goes from, climbing trees to, injecting into the trees for diseases and that sort of thing. So it's a little easier on the body, not as hard, a little more brain work, less brawn, But I'm learning that. I'm trying to learn it. It's not very good. So, but it's almost like being a doctor. You got to know diseases, fungus, insects, things like that. So, but yeah, that's where the industry is going too. Is a lot of people are interested in saving the tree, which is why I get into my own business. Was let's save the tree. So.
With plum trees, we have a client. I think it's called black knot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is there any way to get rid of that?
No,
I didn't think
nope.
so.
Yeah, you talk to anybody in the industry. If it has it, it's you can't save it.
Yeah,
you can prevent it, but I have yet to see a plum tree that really doesn't have it. And to one degree or another.
yeah. He's got a whole line down his driveway, and 2 are dead, and the other 3 are on their way out.
Yep. You could try. I mean, I know some people have tried, but it's kind of futile. You're pruning out the dead, and then you're injecting or spraying it. The big thing is if you're trying to prevent it, but with plum trees and some of those things, it gets into the vascular system, so you're not. There's some fungus that are just on the outside of the tree, so you can spray them with an oil that smothers it, but once it's inside, it's no good. So, but yeah, black knot, very common.
Would that be the entire lane of trees that has it, or is it just one of them?
I think there's 10 trees. 2 of them are already dead, and the rest of them have it to some extent. Some are worse than others. He wants to just cut the dead out of them, but it's gonna look stupid.
You will. Yeah.
Cut them down, plant Bradford pears.
I hate Bradford pears.
No bears.
No, he's just gonna replace them with more plum trees, but
Oh, he is going to put more plum. Wow.
You should do ornamental cherries.
Yeah. I mean, he can do them as long as he can tell they don't have black knot, and then you just use a preventative because it is all over. I mean, the recommendation is, if you're taking a black tree down or pruning the dead out of one that has black knot, you're supposed to be very careful, just trying to keep the stuff from spreading, that sort of thing. But it's impossible. It can't catch it. If somebody within a mile of you has it on their tree and you have a plum tree, you're going to get it. Again, you'd have to be very proactive about spraying the tree. And you spend a lot of money to invest for a tree that you can replace with something a little nicer, I think.
Yeah.
Well, the plums look nice. They're a nice leaf, a little different, but, but not a Bradford pear. It's illegal anyway, I think, now.
It is. That's why
That's
I
why we're
suggested
promoting
it.
it.
It's illegal to plant a Bradford pear now.
Nurseries, I don't think they can sell them.
Nice.
They're just so invasive.
Yeah.
Good.
So is the ash tree making a comeback?
Yeah.
Because we know they got nailed by the ash borer.
Well, you see some of that's, I'm seeing a lot of small ash trees coming back. Bill has one at the shop there, where we park our equipment. He's got one right next to the truck. So, yeah, I'm seeing some small ones come up here and there,
That's
which
good.
is good. But pretty much, I don't know. I was going to talk to Ryan yesterday when I was talking to him. I didn't ask him what he thought about the if they thought it was over. You know, it's been quite a few years now. Once all the ash trees are dead, who knows where they're going to go? You know, the bug. I don't know.
Could that be what's happening to the oak trees?
Well, the oak trees are getting the fungus. That's a big thing there. I was talking to Chip, and yeah, Chip's like, we're going to run out of oak trees too. We had ash trees and oak trees because, man, if people aren't treating the oak trees, you know, if they're not you're not putting a preventative in there, boy, you're running a risk. I mean, I have oak trees and I got to go. Probably the next couple of weeks, I've got to inject them, you know, because the fungus is airborne. Sometimes it's on a bug. A bug hops from one tree to another and brings it. It's a leaf hopper, they call it. So they actually have one fungus that goes through the root system. So if the two trees are close enough and they touch, it's got it. So
Is it all the oaks?
red oaks right now.
Just reds?
Yeah,
Oh,
which means pin oaks, red oaks.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
what
best oak.
I was just going to look
I
at
like white oaks.
white oaks are really nice, but I don't know. I've heard something about this going on for them too. So I should investigate that a little bit.
If it takes out all the pin oaks, I'll be all right.
I hate cleaning those things out. Oh,
You did them very well, Jake.
I did.
You
They do.
You-
They do
you
look
were very-
nice.
You did very good. Yes, you always did very well. Yes.
Every now and then I'll come across a full-size ash tree that's still alive, and it's shocking.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have two customers that have ash trees. They're doing well, but they haven't been treated. So they ask me, what should I do? I'm like, do nothing.
Just be happy with it.
If it's working, don't change it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could fertilize it, but if it's doing well, you know. I don't want to change anything in the tree that's going to affect it. So, nope.
So, Sam,
Yes, sir.
you have your own business, obviously,
Mhm.
because I work for you for the third time around. Thank you.
Good to have you.
My first question would be, what made you decide to go out on your own?
Mm-hmm.
And then I forget my second question.
Let's start with the first.
Start with the first.
Well, my dad passed away in 2003, and him and I did it on the side for a while. And then when he passed, I was doing it more and more on the side. Had some customers, this and that. And I always figured I'd try and go out on my own sometime, somehow. And, I saw a lot of guys doing it. I'm like, man, can't be that hard. I know the guy. He's not a very bright bulb, and he's doing something. I mean, he may not be setting the world on fire with his business, but, he's making a living, that sort of thing. So I thought, man, that's something I could do. So the guy I was working for, Tom Smith, he was getting up there in age. I mean, well, I'm getting up there in age too, but he was in his near 80 and still had the business. And I talked to him. And I said, Tom, he had a son. The son was not very good. And I said, what if I buy the business or take it over? Because he had actually offered that to another guy that was working with us, and it never materialized. And so I brought it up to him 3 times. By the third time, he's like, no, I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm like, okay. Well, then he passes away in 2014, and I've been working for him for 15 years. And his son inherited everything. And the son was not the kind of guy you want to work for. I mean, if you could think of your worst supervisor you've ever worked under, just this guy was, even below that. He just was not good. And so I said, well, look, I said to Ryan and my brother, I said, we're just going to do it on our own. I'm going to do something. I've got customers. I got some stuff. Let's see what we can do. And it just kind of blossomed from there so far. We ran into Jamaicans Landscaping. They needed tree guys. It was like the timing was perfect. Their tree guys were stealing from them. So they found the mechanic went to a pawn shop up in Pottstown and saw what do they have? Jamaican style JSL, right? That's what he says, Jamaican style landscape. That's their initials. And he found all these blowers and chainsaws with JSL on them. And he's like, the only guys that would have pawned them off are the tree guys because they're the ones that had access to them. So they, he went back and told John canned them. So then he had no tree guys. And just that week, I started up my business. And so a mutual individual that we knew, contacted me and said, hey, John just lost all his tree guys or fired them. Give him a call. So it was good. It's been a good relationship. That helped. So, but yeah, I mean, I always want to be in my own business, be the boss, but it's a trade-off. You win some, you gain some things, you lose some things. Some things are great, some things not so great. I'm the one that's got to worry about what are we doing this week? You know, do we have work coming in? You know, not that the workers didn't worry about it, but you know, I'm the one responsible to get it, the work. You know, so. But yeah, it's nice to say, hey, look, I gotta, you know, we're gonna take off a day, you know, just enjoy it. But most of my guys, Jake knows, I give them a day off if they want it. You know.
Yes, you're very flexible.
That's right.
With how, very flexible and very nice with how you treat your guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I try.
It's a nice environment.
Well, you know, I went from the first guy I really worked for was very, very high pressure, nice guy. I mean, one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet, Josh. A little tough to work for. A lot of high pressure when we were working for him. Put you under pressure, you know, hey, you know, get the job done. But his equipment wasn't that great. And went from that to Tom, and Tom was so laid back, so nice, always had great equipment. And he was like, okay. I mean, and I always say this about Tom. He was funny. You could tell him, Tom, we got the job done a day early. Everything went great. The customer's happy. He'd go, okay. Or you go back to the shop and say, Tom, the tree went the wrong way. It landed on their pool. It smashed through their filter, through the fence. You go, okay. That was Tom. Either way, he was like chill about it. And I'm like, all right, that's something to learn, you know. There's things to be upset about, and there's things not to be upset about, you know. There's just, you got to be very flexible, very, very relaxed about it. Because if you lose your cool, then everybody's going to lose their cool. And it's going to make a lot of tension on the job, you know. Because if I'm the boss coming on the job and I'm upset about something, that's going to come right down to the guys, you know. And that's a dangerous thing in this business, you know, with chainsaws and chippers and, you know, machinery. You don't want one of the guys picking one up and throwing it at you. But, yeah. So, yeah, no, I try to be very calm. Keep a good environment. We try. And the headsets help, too, because you can communicate and know what you're doing.
You can joke around.
You can joke around, yep. And you know what the other guy's doing, because if you're not communicating right and the guy does something you're not thinking doing, you know, it's. I've worked with guys that's shouting down a tree at you. You know, it's awful. You know, but the one guy I worked for a guy in Pottstown. Boy, he was stuck on himself. He's like, give me the pole saw. Okay, it was my first or second day with him, and he's up in the tree. I go over and tie on a pole saw. He pulls it up the tree. I turn around and walk away. Next thing I know, he's throwing it out the tree, and he's screaming his head off. That's the wrong pole. Like, pole saw's pole saw, dude. You didn't tell me which one, you know? And it's like, calm down. But he was always very upset, And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that way, you know? And, you know, what helps is having good employees, you know? You know, Jake is a good employee. I got good guys. Even my brother.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So,
he is.
But he listens to me.
That helps. As younger brothers should.
Amen.
The Schwitzel got
The ginger got me that time.
All right, let's take a break and let's see what's grinding Narv's gears.
Tree guys.
I feel the same way. Thanks.
Specifically his employee.
I'm joking.
Did Aspen hold you up going to work this morning or something?
Always.
Flagger force.
Flagger force.
Flagger force, dude.
Diabetes Central.
Oh, man. I saw a guy was like this the other day.
Yes, we made comments about that this morning.
We did, yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay. All
Alright, so it's not actually tree guys, but I thought that'd be funny.
It wasn't.
Come over there. I'm gonna come over there and get you. So what's grinding my gears this week is the bugs that lay in the grass in the summer months and then fly up in your face. I hate them.
When you're laying in the grass?
No. When I'm mowing the grass.
Are we talking like gnats?
I don't know what they are. But they get all over your mower then, and you just take them from job to job.
I thought he was talking about lightning bugs for a second.
No. I don't know what they are, but they're fast, and I hate them.
Splintering flies.
You just broke his brain.
I'd like to sympathize, but I got nothing.
I understand. That's a me personal thing here.
Landscapers will understand.
Yeah, landscapers will understand.
You should wear a mask when you mow.
I'm not Mexican.
How would those guys do it?
I got no
Head-
clue.
I
Do you
w-
wear long sleeves too?
No, not usually.
Long sleeves, pants,
yesterday, a
face
guy-
mask.
Yeah, guy hoodie. I mean, it was a wintertime hoodie. He had
Yeah.
one. I couldn't believe it.
I think they must think like our summer is cold to them. I don't know. It makes no sense.
I don't know.
Got to protect that fair complexion.
Yeah.
Ice.
Keeps him in shape, I guess, sweating off the
We're in
weight.
LA.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, Ice was actually in Quakertown this week.
Ah. I'm surprised they didn't get you.
Ice was in Quakertown?
That's
Yeah.
right.
They went
What
to
are they
Herb's
gonna-
Landscaping and said,
At the Buffalo
Got
Wild
any?
Wings in Quakertown.
What are they going to do? Ship him back to Ireland or whatever?
They were just stopping for a break. They were on their way to Allentown.
You can pick up a lot of them there.
Looking for tree guys.
Honestly, they should go check out the fishing spots. They might find a few there too.
The reservoir on the bridge.
Yeah. At night,
There's a lot of Asians there.
send them back too.
Wow. Well, this just got very racist.
This got extremely
I'm just being honest.
If they're here
I'm here
illegally,
for
send
it.
them back.
Yes.
See, Jake wasn't racist. Marcus was like, get rid of them.
Get out of my country.
If they're here illegally. If not, they can stay.
Even if they're here legally.
Oh.
Wow. You might have to edit that.
Okay.
Cut.
Okay. So y'all remember the
Asian people.
just trying to get us back on the track
Mhm.
here.
Thank
Y'all
you,
remember
Nerf.
the Japanese lanternfly?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to that, and what was it here for? I never saw a reason for it. They didn't
Mm-mm.
really attack anything. They just laid eggs and left.
They moved on. I heard Pittsburgh got it pretty bad this last year, but other than that, I don't know. I mean, the guys were advertising, "Hey, we're your lanternfly expert," and then all of a sudden, all the lanternflies are gone. You know, I don't know. I know they moved it in like our climate. I don't know.
I feel like I only ever saw them on maple trees.
They love
Mhm.
sugar maples.
Yeah, like they were
Oh, yeah.
just swarms of them on them
Smooth-
things.
They love the smooth bark trees. That was the big thing. Mm-hmm.
I remember back when it was really big, we had a job. There was a massive sugar maple on the out back of this property, and it was just covered.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't any bark showing.
It's about right. Yep.
It's the worst when those things land on you.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
Just for kicks, I like
Is that
scraped
icky?
them off.
ugh, it is icky.
The
It's like
only-
up there with spiders.
the only thing worse than those lanternflies landing on you was the year we had the locusts, all those locusts or cicadas, whatever they were, and those things landed
Oh,
on
yeah.
you. It was bad.
Get it off.
Yeah, but the sound was
The
tremendous.
sound was
Wasn't
incredible.
it amazing?
Yeah.
It was nearly deafening at my house.
Yeah.
That was something else.
Yeah, certain properties we were doing, it
Mhm.
was so loud.
That was 2020, wasn't it?
I think so. I think
Was
it
that
all- I think it
2020?
all tied in with COVID.
Because I did video and I walked outside and I just like stood there. It was so loud.
I was
I'll have to find
working in a shop at that point, so I wasn't outside a lot.
Mhm.
So I really didn't experience it that much.
Mm. I'll have to pull up the video. That was 5 years ago. Wow.
Let's see if I have the video.
So, since owning your own business, do you have any customer horror stories?
I can't think of any horror stories. I mean, I've had a few hard customers, but I don't think I've had any horror stories.
Nothing like crazy,
Crazy
Run.
Karen.
crazy Karen.
No, nothing. No, I can't think of anything that anybody, did nuts or, no, not too much. I mean, I've been fortunate, having good customers, unless something happened I'm not on the job that you could tell me about. I don't know. I left you guys on the job a lot, so I don't know.
I got punched.
Oh, yeah. By a customer?
By Caleb.
No, by
Oh.
Caleb.
Oh, my God. Oh, did you?
He beat me to it.
Aren't most of your customers word of mouth?
We try that, yeah. Yeah.
That usually
Yeah.
would be more of a
Mm-hmm.
calm customer then,
Yeah,
if they want you there.
Exactly. You know, I mean, you do get the customers that fight you on the price, you know, but not too often, you know, not very often. You get silly things customers do, you know, about responding to you or when or how. That's him. What year was that?
2021.
21. So we're talking 4 years ago. Yeah. Yep.
Is that the every 7 year one?
I think so.
I think you're right.
So 28 is our next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll all be deaf again.
Yeah, I'll take some.
I don't want it.
Well, you see, this is what happens.
But I got to give credit to my wife because she was like, you know, when Tom died, I'm like, well, I'm going to do my own business. And she goes, well, now's your opportunity, you know. And I'm like, well, it's got to be of the Lord if my wife agrees with it, you know. It's like, God is working here. This is scary. But no, it worked out well. And, you know, the bucket truck, the first bucket truck we bought, you know, we financed that through we had a line of credit, you know, we financed that through the house. And she had bought that was her house. We got married, moved into her house. So it was a line of credit that we used for purchasing that, and that worked out really well. But it was nice within the first year or two, we were able to pay ourselves back from it, you know, and own the truck outright. So that was nice until we got rid of that. But, you know, it was very helpful, you know, to get. So, and sometimes you need a boost like that. It's kind of hard to start off with nothing. I mean, I could say, oh yeah, I started off with nothing, but I had that, you know, I mean, at least that much to help me get through. And we did use John Jamaican's equipment quite a bit, rented from him for a while, so, which is always sketchy. but no, it was good. And like I say, it's hard to start off with nothing, but it was good. Amy was very, very amicable about it, and and very supportive, you know. Hey, let's try it, you know. So, and here we are, 10 years later, we're still broke, you know. Now, let me tell you, this last winter was a tough year. We and even now it's tough. The economy's hurting everybody. And tree work is just the bottom of the line. They're bottom of the list for people to do tree work. Nobody wants to, you know, you got to cut grass, you got to mulch. Tree work, unless you have to, they don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, people are doing a lot of things just for safety, not for aesthetics right now. So that's what we're dealing with.
So it's more of a luxury than in most cases.
Yeah, right now it's people looking at it that way. Yeah, yep, more of a luxury. That's why I got to get the higher, you know, richer clientele, so to speak. You know, people that'll, you know, say, hey, I don't care what it costs. You know,
How far do you want to drive?
Well, right now we're desperate. We'll drive. I have actually had a customer call me from Villanova, and I had done work for her a couple of years ago, and I think I just can't remember who recommended us to her. Somebody did, so she never got any prices. She just used us right away. But I mean that's a good 45 minutes for us, you know, which is fine. We'll do that.
Yeah, there's a really nice neighborhood up a little bit north of Coopersburg.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going up there for tree work, and we don't send the guy that we subcontract out there for either.
Okay.
So I want to go up there and knock on doors.
Yeah. No, you know, right now we'll go anywhere. I mean, I'm not, you know, within reason. We're not going into the city too much. You know, Philadelphia's not, you know, we'll go Chestnut Hill. I've had customers in Chestnut Hill, but aside from that, that's about as far as we go. I'm not going downtown.
Yeah, I don't.
Not too many trees downtown anyway.
You don't want to work amidst the druggies?
Nah.
On Monday, Sam's like, all right, Jake, we're going to Maryland.
Like, okay, I'll see you Tuesday.
That drive would probably be a lot more comfortable in those trucks than the work vans.
Maybe in the bucket truck. The bucket truck is nice.
The bucket truck is nice, yes.
Real nice.
The other two trucks aren't. We know why. Jake knows why.
The seats
Well,
compressed.
it's
well
it's
worn.
no luxuries. Let me just say, no frills ride there.
Air conditioning.
When it was bought, there was not thought to
Mm-mm.
comfort.
Mm-mm.
Comfort,
Mm-mm.
sorry.
I was gonna say it.
hate
It's the communications for
Yep. So that's the exciting world of tree work. So, Jake knows.
I have more questions for you.
Go ahead, shoot, man.
How many times have you injured yourself on the job?
Well, you're always getting bumps and bruises and scratches. I had a splinter in my arm today.
That was
I
after
noticed.
his nap.
Yeah, it was
He
after.
woke up with a
I
splinter
woke
in his
up and
arm.
I'm like, I got a
How
splinter in
did
my
that
arm.
happen? Customer put
What
it
did
there.
did I roll over?
Had
on
to
it?
wake him up.
A couple. The worst injuries I've had. I've been cut 3 times with a chainsaw, twice by myself and once by my dad. So,
Thanks, Dad.
Nice.
yeah, Dad loved
A
me.
learning experience.
So that was my dad. Yeah, my dad was the one it was on the thigh. It wasn't much of a cut, but it did go through the clothing and into the skin a bit. No stitches required. The other one, let's see, chainsaw jumped back and got me in between the 2 fingers here. Had stitches on that one, and then the other one, I took the chainsaw into the hand. I wasn't paying attention. So the scenario was I was up in the bucket truck over a house, cutting limbs. So I had the chainsaw in my left hand, cutting, grabbing, and then throw. Well, at one point I cut and grabbed, but I never moved the chainsaw, and I went to throw it, and my hand actually went like that, so the chainsaw went in here. Now, fortunately, I wasn't full throttle. It was just idling, but it was idling enough that it caught it, and yeah. So when Ryan, the boss said, Ryan, go get the bucket truck. Sam's hurt. There's blood all down the handle. I still had to get myself down, with the cut hand. So, but a few stitches here and there. I mean, the doc did a great job. So I just lost. I don't have feeling in that finger there. So, but so that was probably my 3 main ones with the chainsaw. That's about it. I mean, I did sciatic, but I don't know if I could attribute that to work. I mean, maybe, but.
You did cut your forearm the one time. I forget.
Oh
where-
yeah.
I think that was
Is that still there? Do you see that one? I don't know if
Yep,
you can
there
see
it
that.
is.
Yeah, that was crazy. You guys were all on that one, wasn't it? Was it
Yeah.
Ryan and you
Yep. And Marcus was there, I think,
Marcus
too.
was there? Yeah, that was crazy because I was cutting a log over a garage, and I was trying to grab it, and it got away from me. And the chainsaw, for whatever reason, I didn't have it strapped on. I didn't have a lanyard on it.
Nope.
So the log, I'm trying to get that, and I lost the chainsaw. And when I did, I had to pinch it against the tree. And when I did that, one of the tooth from the chain got me, but I saved it. It didn't. The log didn't hit the saw didn't go down, right? And the log didn't hit the garage. So
Nope.
what's a 6 or 8 stitches to save the day?
And then he got back in the bucket and finished it up.
Well, Ryan put butterfly stitches on me. Yep. Yeah, he put butterflies on me there, and that saved the day too. Which I could have probably been all right with just that, but I went to urgent care and they put in real stitches.
Just some super glue.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't. I don't think they could have super glued that. not with this fat arm. So.
What's the worst injury you've ever seen
Seen?
or heard of? Seen?
Well, I mean, I've heard of guys going through chippers, getting hurt, things like that. You always hear about those stories. Yeah. But we did have a kid, his leg went in the chipper. I wasn't there for that, but I got back to the shop at the end of the day, and there's a boot, and the sole is chewed up all the way down. Where you could, if you had your foot in there, you could see your bare foot. And I'm like, and everyone, and the other guy that was there when he was happened, he pointed to the shoe. He said, "What do you think happened?" I'm like, "I don't want to know." Well, here, this young kid, he wasn't very bright, but nice kid, but not very bright. Anyway, we had a short guy, Joe, and he was only it's like 5'4", real short guy, short legs. So he would take his foot and push the branches into the chipper, but his feet were so short, it was no problem. Well, he had this kid, and this kid was 6'3", and 6'3" comes with long legs. So he saw Joe pushing in with his leg, and he thought, well, I can do the same thing, not realizing the difference in, length of his foot or leg. And when he did that, the branch just caught his foot and pulled him right in. It went into the feed wheels, but fortunately, somebody, I don't know if it was Joe, I think, was able to hit the reverse bar. And just as his foot got to the blades, it took off the bottom of his shoe, and they backed it out. So he was bruised up, and he never came back. We're like, no, you're not made for tree work. He was just not, he just. But yeah, that was probably one of the worst ones that I was near. Like I said, we've had minor injuries, things like that. I've had tendonitis in the elbow. You roll the tendon off here. That then you have to wear that band for a while. But some things like that, little injuries aren't that bad. But fortunately, hey, we have not had a workman's comp claim.
There you go. That's good.
And I don't expect to get one either. So my insurance guy.
We're not getting one.
Exactly. If he gets hurt, he's fired.
Fired right before he got hurt.
Exactly.
It's like
When did you
falling
fire
from a
him?
tree, you're fired.
What time did he get hurt? 12 o'clock. He was fired at 11:50. Yeah, no, my insurance guys tell me you're doing great. They go by what they call the mod rating. That's what insurance companies look at. My mod rating is high, which is good. The higher, the better. I always thought low was better. He explained to me, no, if you go higher, it's better, which that means they like you. So, but anyway, so yeah, no, I'm doing well. I've got a good rate. So, and like I said, you stay safe. We wear the helmets, we wear all the PPE stuff. We try to be safe. And
Our bright green shirts, bright orange.
some of us, anyway.
He's the safest.
Yeah, with shorts on.
I don't need to know who that is.
All right,
That's
let's.
Jake.
That's not me. Let's hit another break and do the y'all don't even know.
Wait, who's got that this week?
Y'all don't even know segment is brought to you by Marcus.
That guy.
Find him on Marketplace,
That Marcus guy.
Facebook dating.
Facebook dating.
He's all
Which
about
is Marketplace.
all about the Facebook dating.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Might find a nice Amish kid there.
Oh Lord.
A nice Karen.
So, my Y'all Don't Even Know segment for this week is actually something I just saw this morning. The largest great white shark ever recorded in the Atlantic is in Outer Banks, North Carolina right now. It's 14 foot, 1,653 pounds, and yeah, it's the largest one they've ever recorded in the Atlantic, and it's really close to Pamlico Sound. I think that's how they say it, Pamlico Sound.
You said that's in the Outer Banks.
Yeah,
That's a big fishy.
You guys been down there, right?
Let's go catch it.
A little farther south.
You never stopped at the Outer Banks? You guys never tried there?
I've never been there. I want to go, but I've
Mhm.
never been there.
It's nice. Okay.
We used to go. Mark, when did we go? With Grandmom all those years
yeah,
ago.
probably a little bit after. I think it was after Tito was born. For
I
a
was
few
there
years.
for like a year or two.
Then
Do you
Kayla and
remember
I
it?
went there on our
I've seen
honeymoon.
pictures only.
And then we went there last year again.
I was
Well,
drunk.
For a
gotta go
weekend.
catch the shark.
Did
then.
you say it was
Four-
caught or
14 feet.
No, they spotted it.
how did they weigh it?
I'm guessing they just
Guesstimate.
estimated
Okay.
it.
They didn't ask you to jump on the scale quick?
No, nothing like that.
I
The
don't
small
want to be
measurement
offensive.
was just a dorsal fin sighting.
They should just harpoon it and then eat it.
When I say catch it, I don't mean get it on a hook. I mean like let's go catch it. Let's wrestle that thing.
It says it was tagged in January down in Florida, and that's
how they know
weighed
that.
it back then,
Of course, it came from Florida.
and so now it's on its way up the coast.
Florida natives.
14 foot. Oh.
Maybe it'll get up to Jersey. Maybe it'll take some Jersey people out.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Ice.
They're disguised as sharks
At
now.
that point, the shark is ice.
That's what I'm saying. Doing the Lord's work.
Let's just name it Ice. Does it have a name yet?
Its name is Contender.
No, its name
Contender.
is Ice now.
Ice
Contender. It's all right. I
That
guess.
sounds like a horse name.
Yeah.
We're gonna start betting on it.
How many people is he gonna eat this year?
I got $50
Over
on the
or
over. I
under
got
20?
$50 on the over.
Well, you can't do halves because you could eat half a person.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
20 and a quarter?
It's got to
Let's
be a
start.
round number.
How many surfboards will it bite? How about that one?
All right, I'm going to take the over on 20 people. And I'll take the under on 10 surfboards.
Okay.
Fill me up.
There's none left.
I don't think there's any. No. Oh, he's
Thanks,
gonna finish
Buttercup.
it.
Money
Buttercup.
line
I
if
might
he
need a
gets to
whole
the
gallon
Pacific.
next time.
I should.
Huh?
That's
The money
it's just
line,
a
and if he
little more
gets to
than
the
half a
Pacific.
gallon.
Do not
But I
call
drank
me
some before I
Buttercup.
came, so that didn't help.
That's why I called you Buttercup.
Wow.
You guys having a moment here?
Yes. We are.
Should we?
I-
We
just-
haven't seen each other in like a
Should
week.
we all
Let's
okay?
get out of here.
All right, pod is
This
over.
isn't for us.
Yeah.
So does one of you two have a question? You've been really quiet this.
Honestly,
Okay.
Jake's been asking all my questions.
Kale.
What's your favorite part about being your own boss?
Yeah. You know what I really like? You know what I really enjoy? And I miss this because Jake and Ryan were my go-to guys. I mean, my brother was involved too, but when Ryan and Jake were together, I could just put them on a job and walk away. I could explain it to them, and I knew they'd do it. They weren't going to give me complaints. They weren't going to, no excuses, and they didn't over question everything. Like, what about this? What about that? Ryan knew, and Jake knew. Ryan was very good working with Jake. They got along well. But what I really enjoy about being the boss is being able to set my guys up with what they need to accomplish something, and it's not, making money is a big part of it. You got to make money, but to me is being able to say, all right, what do you need to get this done? I'll help you. You know what I mean? Am I facilitating that more than anything? Yeah. I mean, they really couldn't because I'm the one, backing this financially, that sort of thing. But to be able to just say, all right, what do you need? Oh, hey, the other day, you needed that pole saw. That section of pole saw was bad. Well, man, I ran up to the saw shop. I just felt like, hey, got to go get this and come back and keep my guys going. And it wasn't like a, major critical thing, but I just always enjoy saying, okay, what can I do to help my guys do this job better? And we try to have the equipment, keep it in good shape, and just have what we need. If there's new equipment coming out that we could, purchase or help with that, I'm not great at keeping up with some of that, Ryan always helped me. I mean, Ryan was he was really into trees, and he was always up on the newest equipment. That he'd send me links or send me, magazines, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, right. I mean, he was good, and I liked, one thing I learned right after my dad passed away. My dad was, you'd have to understand it if you're a climber. There's old school ways of climbing, and there's new school ways. There's new ways. We try to teach Jake the new way. Did you ever do SRT yet or no? Oh, you never did?
No.
Oh, we didn't. Ryan never got you an SRT?
No.
Or a DRT? Neither one. Okay. So you just went up old school, right from the ground with a foot ascender.
Yeah. Yep.
But you used your blake hitch.
Yep.
Okay. Well, they have.
That's all I know.
That's like, okay. Well, when you're feeling better, we'll teach you a few more. My dad was an old school climber, and it was like, you put a ladder against a tree, you reach up in the tree, put your rope in, tie into the rope, then you are literally humping yourself up the tree, like you're thrusting your hips, sliding your knot, thrusting your hips, sliding your knot. It was really work. Well, now we have new methods. You put the rope in the tree, you tie ascenders on. Some guys have, knee ascenders, foot ascenders. You have something that hooks to your chest, and some guys literally, if you watch a video, Jake could probably pull one up. These guys are walking up a rope. They'll have like one or two ropes, and it'll go up over a limb and come back down. And you just see them. They just look like they're just walking right up the rope, and it's really cool. It's a lot less effort, and they get in the tree, into the canopy much quicker. So these new methods are really nice, and Ryan really was, good with that. Well, I picked up some new methods right after my dad passed away. I started watching these guys, and they started using these hand ascenders to get in trees, and ascenders were pretty much for rock climbers. Well, they started integrating a lot of rock climbing equipment and techniques into tree work, and it has really revolutionized how guys do the trees now. I mean, it's amazing. If you ever watch the competitions, these guys are really quick, very impressive. And as a climber, I mean, I'm not probably going to do much more of that, I don't think, but it is impressive to watch these guys, do a good job. But yeah, learning the new methods was nice. It was always good. It's always nice to learn something new, something especially that helps you, But that's what I say with teaching somebody like Jake. He was good to teach, and I wanted him to learn, some of that methods, because you've got long legs, long arms. You could just sail up a rope. Once you got the right equipment. And so that kind of thing really excites me about the business, about being in business is, number one, you got to have finances, but, if you're sure of your finances, but you just keep an open mind for new equipment. A lot of guys I used to work for, nope, stick with what you got. The old school ways working, there's no need for the new stuff. And a lot of the guys, they kind of push back on that stuff, But I'm fully embrace it. If there's something new we can learn, something new we can do, better method for somebody, especially a safer way, I'm into it. And the guy we get our equipment at, they're very good too. They teach you new methods. Hey, they get a new piece of equipment. Let's try this, that sort of thing. Problem was some of that equipment is mechanical. And when it first comes out, there's a lot of bugs to work out of it. And when you're putting your life on a mechanical device and you have a failure, you're done. And so some of that stuff was recalled for a while, and a lot of guys just got away from it. But now they've really, revolutionized some of this stuff. They really came a long way with getting the kinks out of that stuff. What did Ryan have? Did he have the zigzag? What did he have? He had something. I'm trying to remember what he had.
I don't know, but he had like that knee ascender.
Well, the knee ascender was cool. Yeah.
I don't remember anything else.
I can't remember what he called it, but anyway, no, it's like, again, I would say, that's probably my biggest thing is being able to just supply my guys with what they need. Me working the job, okay, I know so much about you. It's not exciting like it was, when I first was learning it. I enjoy it, but like I said, not as exciting. I'd like to get new guys into it. If the young guys want to learn. I mean, it's you got to start young. You got to start in your early to mid 20s. I mean, you can start later, but if you're going to learn something new and pick it up, and your body's going to adapt to it, you got to do it young.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a good question. I always think about. I was just thinking about that the other day too. What it really does. That's my biggest thrill is setting my guys up and being able to just, get out, do what I need to do, but man, make sure they're set, and then I have the confidence because I know the equipment I buy them is good. I know that they've got the equipment to do the job. Then that's a lot less worry for me.
Yeah.
I don't have to, I can leave them. I can be confident the job's going to get done, So, but yeah.
What you got, Mark?
For what?
You got a question, or you just over there producing?
Yep.
So what is the I don't really know because I'm not involved with it, but what is the competition level between tree companies? Like, is there competition, or is it just, there's trees everywhere?
Yeah, competition's gotten really stiff in the last 5-6 years, 8 years maybe. When I first started in business back in right out of high school, out of 91, 92, there were not a lot of tree companies. I mean, there were a bit, but it just, compared to today, you would know, oh, hey, I know Ricky Mulder. Okay, he's over in Bluebell. Okay, I know him. He's Lansdale. I know him. He's over. You find guys today, you don't even know where they're from or what they're doing. They're just showing up coming out of the woodwork, and just a lot. And it's not a racial thing. It's just a lot of them are South American guys that came here, whether legal or illegal, learn the business, found they can make money doing trees, and they get into it. Then they start their own business, and then they can do a really cheap job, cheaper than me, because a lot of them hire guys that don't need a lot of pay, and so I'm competing with guys like that, and it's tough because they are all out there, And so one thing is you've got to have something that distinguishes you, something that makes you a bit different. So for me, that's where I went into plant healthcare, trying to take care of the diseases to help prevent problems, because I'd say, of all the tree guys I know, just a few of them do do the plant healthcare. Now, big companies like Davy Tree, Bartlett, yeah, they do the plant healthcare, that sort of thing. But, for me, I want something that distinguishes me. Some guys were like, oh, hey, we'll take a tree down, we'll do free stump grinding. Yeah, okay, right. I mean, they're paying for it somewhere, the customer. Yeah. So, they're trying to make something distinguish them a little bit. But there's just a lot of average guys out there as far as tree work. But again, you got to find something that puts you on a little bit different niche. Some guys are all totally giant takedowns. One company we know, nice guys, good family company. big takedowns. They have a 60-ton crane. They've got the big equipment. I mean, you watch them drive down the road, they're a presence, and so they're a force to be reckoned with. But they're not my competition because I don't do that big a tree. We do trees, but we don't do big takedowns like they do, So, but if you can find something that puts you a little bit different, whether it be customer service or a service you provide, it makes it a little different. It helps. But you're right. It's tough competition out there. It's a lot. But you want to get along with everybody. Because you don't know. You get along with guys, and it's helpful to network with guys that all in the same business, that sort of thing. So because it's just kind of everybody's in trees. If you're all in tree work, you all get to know each other. You never know when you need something. Sometimes you work with a guy. Like some tree guys will work together. They'll call another guy up and say, "Hey, I got a big tree. I can't handle or I need help or something like that." You call a guy to help you out. Maybe he has the equipment or something like that. So we've done that a few times. We had one guy. I don't think he did it with Superior Tree Service, Bill Fretz. Yeah, it's just him and one guy. It was right. I think right after you and Ryan left. But anyway, he called me up. We did a job or two together. Nice guy, but he just needed extra hand, that sort of thing. So it's good to network that way. It's good to know each other because some guys have something that can help you out. That's all. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we'll hit another break here and hear Kale's top 3.
There it is. It's delayed.
His shirt goes well with that team.
I'm gonna buy a new soundboard. This is nuts.
All right.
You
top
didn't
3
prep
now.
them, did you?
What?
You didn't prep them, did you?
I did.
You were giving me that blank stare.
It's got really loud.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm just tired.
Milkshakes were pretty good last week. I agreed with it.
Good.
It was nice.
I can't remember if that was controversial or not.
Very
It's been a while.
It was
Controversial.
controversial.
We have a listener.
All right.
Everything Hale says to me is controversial.
All right. Fast food chains.
All right.
I kind of did this more of because you have your pizza, fast food, your burger places, and then you just have Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A is already on here.
I don't consider pizza to be fast food, but
I don't either.
It is technically because
You
it's like
can
fast
go
food
Domino's.
pizza. Yeah, it's like Domino's, like Papa John's places.
Yeah, but
like
it-
that.
Little
takes-
Caesars has a drive-thru.
it
Yeah.
takes over 15 minutes usually to get your pizza. I don't consider that fast food.
You can buy it by the slice, and they
Yeah,
warm
but
it up
you
right
have to
there.
walk into a pizza restaurant to do that. It's not fast food.
Okay.
Just give us your
You're
top
already
3, Kale.
controversial.
I don't think I want to. All right. We're gonna do with the pizza number 3, Papa John's. I like their pepperoni pizza, and then you put the garlic butter. It's delicious. Number 2, we're gonna do the burger place. It's gonna be Wendy's. I don't think there's a lot. I don't like McDonald's.
Five
Kinda.
minutes.
Five Guys doesn't have a drive-through according to your.
But it's fast. It's faster than 15 minutes.
Yeah, but it's also really expensive.
True.
It's ridiculously priced for what it is. And number 1, I'm gonna go with Chick-fil-A because
As you should.
it's always convenient. It's always
Mhm.
good. Just the worst part about their that is the milkshakes being watery. So yeah.
I understand.
Back to the milkshakes. There.
What about their peach milkshakes?
Oh, that's the only
If
thing.
it wasn't
Yes.
if it wasn't so chunky.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
What is it with you guys and bits in your milkshakes? What
I don't
like
mind it.
I don't understand.
you
it.
mentioned the Wawa chocolate mint.
Chocolate cookies and cream is
Yeah,
he
that,
likes the
that
mint.
was my favorite, and I didn't mind. Oh,
Man, I just got a regular one earlier of regular cookies and cream.
And it's
They
not
were out of chocolate. They were out of mint. Okay.
The frosted lemonade from Chick-fil-A is
Jumper.
good.
Going back to your burger place, though, Wendy's is the correct choice.
Yes.
If you're going straight fast food.
Yes, I agree.
Wendy's is the
mhm.
best.
The Baconator.
Disgusting.
Oh,
fast
yeah.
food.
That would give you a heart attack
The
real quick.
only reason to go to Burger King is to get the onion rings. And
I'd like to put a
Arby's.
put
ahead.
a notice in for Sonic. For the
Ooh.
Forgot about Sonic.
They're really fast because you can't
It's in
actually
their
go
name.
inside.
Yeah.
I would take Sonic over Wendy's,
Yes.
Yeah.
especially their
Hard
tater
to.
tots.
Kind of forgot about them because there's
They're
not
not
really a whole
around.
lot of them.
They're
Yeah.
just not around, so I would count Sonic out just for that
There's-
reason.
The one in Quakertown still there? Or that go?
That's been gone for
Is it
years.
good? Yeah. There's still
Now that's a Chipotle.
There's
Oh,
one
is that
in,
where that was? Okay.
Ooh, Chipotle.
Chipotle, yeah.
what is it, Limerick and
I thought it was a
Allentown?
Panera.
It is Panera.
Yeah.
Chipotle's
is where
on the other
Wendy's
side.
used to
Yeah.
be. Or
Mm.
I can't remember.
No.
Quaker
no,
Town
Chipotle is right
anymore.
beside Wendy's.
Chipotle is where Boston Market used to be.
Kale, your assignment next week is to do a top 3 on all the new car washes in Quakertown.
Your assignment is to do a
what are
top
they
3 that's
doing?
not
All right, so
controversial.
Quakertown is
All the secondhand stores.
Quakertown is laundering money through mattress stores and car washes.
It's the
Wait,
new theory.
actually?
Huh?
Say that again?
I want in on this.
Quakertown is laundering money through mattress stores and car washes. We have 3 or 4 mattress stores, and we now have 3 or 4 car washes. All on that mile strip or whatever it is of 309.
Somebody's making money.
Yes, so they're laundering money. If I die, you know it's true.
You know, they got to you.
If I die, you know it's true.
The mob.
If
I
he
call
dies, we
them out.
die.
You have no thoughts of suicide, right? Was that
No,
it?
no
Okay.
thoughts of suicide.
Narv didn't hang himself.
I'm the new Epstein.
I think
Whoa now.
We're talking about his death, right?
Yes, his death.
Hold on.
I can see how that could be taken out of context.
Steph didn't come to my mind when you said that.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
But I think we all went there, though.
I was thinking
The
about
guy,
that
except
and
the
keep
guy
that
saying
forever.
I
it.
was thinking about death.
Clip, I am the
Thinking
new
about
Epstein
meth?
from Narv, and just keep it
In the-
forever.
Oh. I was like, meth in the mattress?
That's how they're laundering money.
I would just use a washing machine.
They also got counterfeiting stores.
Shut up.
Why is there no air conditioning in here?
I don't know.
All right, Epstein.
Yes.
No, he answered to it.
Oh man.
Said what I said.
I'm sticking to it.
We heard you. All right.
All right, let's finish this up. Does anybody have any questions for Sam?
Yeah, I got one.
Because I have another one.
Kind of on the less critical or deep delving side. Do you have a favorite tree?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I have a few favorites. You know, ones I really do like, particularly if I had now when I lose it. Did I just turn my headset off? Okay, there we go. I did. I think I did. Yeah, there's different varieties of trees. I mean, paper bark maple is one of my favorites, just because it's a different type of bark. It's like I would say orange, but not quite, like a burnt orange kind of color. It's really nice in the wintertime. You know, it's kind of a different type looking tree in the wintertime because you got snow. And most trees just dull gray, you know, brownish. This is a bit different color. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've
Paper
never
bark
seen it.
maple. Yeah, it's nice. That's probably one of them. I mean, Southern Magnolia is hands down probably my favorite.
Yeah,
Southern Magnolia.
that's a pretty tree.
Very pretty. Very beautiful. Smelling, beautiful tree. If you could bottle that scent, you know, it'd be nice. But it's really nice. I just was at a customer's house and they had one, and it was blooming. It's early. I don't know what's going on, but maybe the hot weather the last couple of days. But it had a couple good sized flowers on it, and you know, careful smelling them. You just shake it a little bit, make sure no bees are in it before you stick your nose in there. It's just that's the one thing you want. Yeah, I mean, you smell, but then you know, you get a surprise. So yeah.
Speaking of bees, we got our first casualty yesterday. First guy
Elijah.
got stung.
Elijah.
It wasn't Elijah.
It's always Elijah.
It was hard.
He's really rocking the beard lately.
Yeah, the beard's coming in full.
Not a fan.
Really?
He's just a
Yeah,
hater.
no, I just maybe because I'm used to seeing him without it.
Well,
No,
he
I don't
never-
like it.
I'm not
he never,
impressed.
he
Put
never
him on
grew one
sports radio
because
around
he never grew one because yes,
Me and Joe together.
he never grew one because his girlfriend didn't like it. She finally let him grow one. It's coming in pretty full now.
Okay,
That's great.
No.
I have a
Good.
question.
Good for him.
Have you ever done any work for anybody famous or celebrity? Or a politician or anybody that people would recognize?
One particular lady, I don't know that you guys would know her. You guys are all pretty young. There was a lady that was one of the newscasters on 6ABC down in Philadelphia back in the 80s. And she lived in North Wales. Now, whether she does or not now, I don't know. But Chris Wagner was her name. I can't remember her married name. That was her maiden name. She went by that all the time on news. But yeah, we did work for her. That was interesting. Probably for Tom Smith, we did back when George W. Bush, the second Bush, was in down in, I want to say Gladwin or somewhere. Little did I know this. Presidents will go do fundraisers and with no press. Like the press follows him around, but he was going down to Gladwin at a very big donor, Republican donor. And it was a big mansion, big house, and they had a big tent they were putting up. Well, we got a call from them to come down because they were setting a podium up underneath these two trees and two big sycamore trees. And the Secret Service wanted to make sure that there was no dead branches in there, that were going to fall down on them or something like that. But it was one of and we were told when we were there that, yeah, he'll come out and do a speech and nobody on the press will be there because then it kind of gives him liberty to speak. So, what is he going to say that the press can't hear? I don't know. But they just, they just not around. So that was interesting. So we were there. The Secret Service was all over. Their Secret Service. They were all suit and ties. Everybody was all around. They had a helicopter land in the backyard, things like that, just checking everything out. So, but that was probably interesting. I took a picture on my cell phone at the time, which was one of the flip phones. I took it of the trees and the back of the house, and then there was no SD cards, nothing back then. So I lost that picture. But it was a nice shot, the two trees. We had them cleaned out. And the Secret Service came over and told us, hey, what are you doing? And we're like, yeah, trying to keep them, They're like, oh, that's good. I mean, some of them didn't know why we were there.
Get on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much, move slowly, But so probably, I would guess Chris Wagner was probably one of the more popular ones. As far as that, I would, I know you guys wouldn't know her too much, but she was. My grandparents watched Channel 6 News when I was growing up, so she was a voice I recognized. And when I met her, I'm like, I know you. You did the news. Well, you guys know Channel 6, right? Like Cecily Tynan does the weather. Well, she's friends with Cecily Tynan, that sort of thing. So she knew all them. But I'm trying to think of anybody else. No, nobody else. I would say is super. I'll probably leave here and think of somebody, but those are probably the two that I remember the most.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but interesting was, I don't know. I didn't know the people that owned the house where the president was coming to, but they had the tent rental place was putting this tent up. It was huge. It's going to be air conditioning, totally enclosed. Why they didn't just go into the house, I don't know. But big, beautiful tent. The lady, the homeowner, she comes out with her husband, and she went ballistic on the guys that were putting the tent up. She's like, that is supposed to be over 10 more feet that way. I mean, the tent was fully assembled, ready to go. They were putting the air conditioner in, getting it ready. And she went ballistic. They could not calm her down about that tent being 10 feet too far the other way. Wow. And I don't understand why it mattered. I wasn't in on it. I just could. We were there, and I could hear her out in the field, out in the back of the, the house, screaming at these guys. And these poor guys, I mean, they were just workers. They didn't know. They just put it up whether they were told, but you wouldn't think it'd make a difference. But to her, it did. So I don't know. I don't know if it got moved. Oh, and he never spoke under the trees. They said he never got under the trees and spoke. They didn't put the podium there.
Oh, wow.
So maybe that's what upset her.
Rich people problems, I guess.
Yeah, obviously. And they were big donors. They were probably very big. They're very rich. The area they were at. So yeah. Yep. No, good question. You get asked questions like that. Who you get around to see. So yeah.
What are your thoughts on the shagbark hickory,
As far as
just in general? That's one of my favorite trees.
yeah, a nice tree. Yeah, I mean it's a good tree. We got a lot of strength in those trees. Yeah, no, they're good. As far as firewood, they're good firewood. And you I mean, not too often they fall over. Not like a pine tree or something that uproots or anything like that. But no, nice trees. I mean, yep. The interesting bark. I guess they're probably one of the ones that most interesting bark.
Yeah, that's
You know
why
what I
it
mean?
always stood out to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're easy to pick out. But yeah, no, they're very unusual. That's the neat thing about nature and the way God did things. Trees, have their own uniqueness.
Yeah.
You guys do know the poem, right? You don't know the poem.
Pull out the bifocals.
I'll just go right with the glasses here. This I was prepared for. This is a good segue into this, anyway. So this is a poem called "Trees" by Joyce Kilmer. You guys don't know this at all? You never heard this one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Okay. It was before your time. I mean, the guy wrote the poem back in the late 1800s. He was killed in World War I, by the way. Anyway, trees. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
That really is.
He was
That's real good.
His bio is he was a Catholic man. He wrote that. He was 31 when he died. He was called into World War I, and had 5 kids prior to being 31 years old and died. 5 kids before he was called to war.
Married at 16 or something.
Probably, yeah. Yep.
Settle down, Mark.
Young guy.
No chance. They're going with his in-laws.
Mercy.
All right. I got one more question for you.
Oh, see you, Mark. Let's all take a moment of silence.
F in the chat.
That's all I got. That's a lot of
Wow,
crickets.
yeah, I was going to say.
I don't remember it being
All
that
right,
long.
Very quiet.
Put me to sleep.
Do you get more thrill out of sending a big top out of a tree, or cutting it from the notching it and cutting it from the ground and watching it?
That's a good question. You know what? I really think being in the top, knocking the top out. If you can knock the head of a tree down and it's still 50, 60, 70 feet in the air and you're knocking that thing out, that's a thrill. Because it's got a ways to go. You have time. Sometimes you have time to just stop, shut your saw off, and just listen to that. It's kind of nice. I mean, dropping it from the ground is always nice too, and that's enjoyable. But yeah, being up in a tree and knocking the head out, yeah, I would say that's probably a little more thrill for a tree guy. And I've been doing this for 30-some years, and it's still a thrill to just drop a tree. Yeah, that's a good question. I've never compared the two, but when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, being up in there. It's as men, we love conquering things, so that's something that you feel like you've conquered. You've climbed this tree, you've given it, your all, and you've just defeated it, kind of thing. You've knocked the head out of it, or whatever you're doing with the tree. But to be able to just feel like you've conquered that tree, especially again, like I said, if you're knocking the head of that tree out, that's nice. And you don't hit nothing too. Hit nothing but grass,
There's nothing like, to me. There's nothing like when you're on the ground, you're doing a back cut, and the tree starts to go, and you just hear the fibers, and you're just like and then there's nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a boom.
Mm-hmm.
That is just like,
Mhm.
whoa! I'm doing
And-
it right now.
Second to that is not having to clean it up.
Oh, it's great when you don't have to do that.
You can drop
just
it and
send
walk
it.
away. Oh yeah, yeah. No, if you're if you can do that, no, it's nice. Yep. Now there's some really fun things for guys. I mean, it's just a manly type thing. There are some women that are into it now, logging and tree work and things. But as far as for men, being adventurous and having that, ability to go out and destroy things and get paid for it, it's pretty cool. It's really cool, especially if you place the tree where you want it, and everything goes really well. Yeah, but now you hear that sound of just the fibers pulling away. That's, and under normal circumstances, no, it's not good to hear the fibers of a tree. But when you've got control of the situation, then it's pretty nice. It's pretty good. So yeah.
Relative control.
Well, you know what? You're right. Yeah, that's good because I say this all the time. We work with tree work safely. You're trying to take away the variables. There's so many different variables you just don't know, and if you can try to eliminate as much as you can, gain control of the situation so that you know what the tree will do, and then you still run out of the way like it's the devil's after you. Sometimes you still got to get away from it. You just don't know. But guys are killed. They had out west a couple years ago. A guy was killed. He's on Instagram, had a page, and a lot of guys knew him. And he went on a job, and a bunch of pine trees had blown over, and they were leaning into a maple tree. So, they said he assessed the situation, him and his crew, and said, hey, the best scenario here is let's just notch and drop the maple tree and let the pine trees just push it over, for you, and it would just bring everything down, make it safe and all that. He went under there, and he started to make he made his front cut, his face cut, and when he went to do his back cut, it vibrated the tree enough that he did not see, because it's pine trees. One of the heads, the top of one of the pine trees had broken off. It was just hanging in there, and nobody saw it. So when he started that cut, it was just vibrating enough. And apparently they saw it fall. He looked up. It just caught him right in the face, killed him right away. And guys were on Instagram, just talking about him, saying he was a good guy. He was not unsafe. He was not a risk taker. He was very careful, so it was calculated. And they just sang his praises. I never knew the guy, never followed him. But they said it just happens. You don't know. And that's number one for us as Christians. God's got to protect you. It's just, I pray for safety for that guys. Because the smallest thing, anything, you don't know. You don't know any of it. You don't know what that guy had a crew of guys there looking at it, and nobody saw that. So you just anything's possible. So yeah, you relatively can control. And hope what you can't see, you want God to help. Keep you safe with. So, yeah, it's interesting business. Like I say, I'm slowing down with it. I think, trying to get into the plant healthcare side of it. I do want to keep a crew going, with Jake and them guys, have something for when Jake needs me again, when he comes.
That's exactly it.
When he comes
Sam.
and goes, or Marcus,
Here
if he
again.
decides to, Fretzes is not where he wants to be anymore, But yeah, no, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy, Amy said tree work is good for me because I'm a people person. So I like people. I like to meet customers, meet new people, that sort of thing. So, and I probably take it a little too personal sometimes when a customer doesn't use us that I've known, and they'll say, hey, we got a cheaper job, well, look, I've been doing your tree work for so many years, so I take it probably too personal sometimes. But, like I say, I get into it. I do get to know my customers. So, I said, look, I looked at a job last night for a guy, nice guy. It's probably 4 hours worth of work, and I spent an hour talking to him. But he had just moved into the house and wanted to tell me everything about the house and all. So it's like, well, you spend time with the customers. You get to know them. It's building a relationship. So that can go further sometimes than anything else,
Yeah, Monster Tree Company ain't doing that stuff.
Customer service. It's connections. It's connections, and if they don't have that, people and there are people that'll use them, sure, but you just you make a good connection with people, they'll keep calling you.
Anybody have anything else?
Is there anything non-tree related you want to talk about, Sam?
Yes, there is. I'm going to bring up the last podcast, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
All right. Jimmy
Shut
was
it down.
here. Who brought up? Did you mention Pennhurst?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have a personal story about Pennhurst, just so you guys and your listeners or viewers can understand. My mom had a brother that was in Pennhurst, and he was not criminally insane. He was just had a slow mental ability. His name was Curtis. My older brother Scott, his middle name is Curtis. He's named after him. But anyway, as far as I understand, Pennhurst, people always look down on it like, hey, it's such a bad place. It wasn't great, but it was a place where they were comfortable. People with disabilities and mental disabilities. Back then they called them retarded. But he was there, and he was not very good socially. So when he got out and around you, he'd be say, "Hey, Chris, can you get me a job where you work? I need a job." Well, you're never going to get him a job. You knew he didn't have the ability, but he would always bug you like that. Well, he would do that to my dad, and he'd he was bugging my dad. Hey, you're going to take me to church? Take me to church. My dad all right, Curtis, I'll take you to church. Well, my dad showed up there one Sunday, right? Now, my dad had it in mind that these are criminal. These are like mass murderers, or like serial killers, that live at this place. So he's driving on there, and he gets out, and he's looking for Curtis, and he's meeting these people, and my dad's scared to death. He's in his late 20s, and just trying to find Curtis. Well, here Curtis was still in bed on Sunday morning because everybody told him, yeah, I'll take you to church, and never show up. So he didn't expect my dad to show up. But anyway, turns out over the course of a few years, Curtis came out to church, got saved, and started reaching people in Pennhurst. And so my dad would take a bus from the church, would give him a bus, and he'd go in there and pick up a bunch of Pennhurst, if you call them patient or residents, I guess, and take them to church. So we would, every Sunday, we would have a group of people from Pennhurst over, and I got to know a bunch of them. When Pennhurst finally closed, they just let them out, and it gave them no instructions. A lot of them were stepping across streets, getting hit by cars and things like that because they didn't know how to cross a road. They had roads in Pennhurst, but there was no cars hardly on them, and they could just walk wherever they wanted without fear of being hit. Well, they come out in Pottstown, you get on High Street, and they were getting hit by cars. So we did run into a bunch of them still up in Pottstown area that we knew. So I don't know, I haven't seen any of them in 20 years, I guess, by now. Some of them are probably gone. But yeah, my dad used to go in there quite a bit with Pennhurst people. And I don't know, maybe they had an area that was not good, and maybe they did have some criminal element there. I don't know. But my dad's experience was they were just pretty much just people that just were underdeveloped. They had a childlike mind. It's like you talk to them, and it's like talking to a 3-year-old. They're a full-grown man or woman, but they're like dealing with a child, so. But anyway, so Curtis lived there. Then he got out. Actually, got out. I don't know if they closed, but anyway, he ended up, in his own apartment and stuff like that. So, but that's our personal connection to Pennhurst. Back in 70s and 80s. So, but I do remember playing. Actually, we had a pool table in our basements, and this one guy, Frank Van Zant, real tall guy and real big, but he was real gentle, giant. But he could play pool, so him and I would play. I remember doing that. So, and he probably beat me, I'm sure. He'd beat me today, so that's how bad I am. But anyway, no, that was the one thing I did want to mention from watching the podcast. But now they turn it into the Pennhurst, whatever, horror house or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure there were people there that didn't treat their residents very good. That was, they have that in nursing homes too, today. So. But whether it was like that across the world, I think they just could have kept them in there, maybe changed up how they conducted things. I think that might have been a better situation for the people. But other than that, so yeah. But no, just thought I'd mention that.
No, appreciate that.
Yeah. But if you do go to the horror thing, let me know. I don't care for that, but
I'll take you with.
take me with.
We're taking all the guests with us.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. I get in for free. I go. Okay.
Yeah, then we'll abandon you there.
And Jimmy.
You're familiar with this place. Good luck.
He's gonna have Jimmy with him too.
You probably should have been there. Sorry, Jimmy.
All right, let's shut this episode down. Sam, thank you for coming on.
Hey, man, my pleasure. I'm glad to see you guys. You guys are always fun to be around, talk to. I think this suits you guys. You know, it's something you could talk to, just sit and talk. Yeah, I enjoy it. Thank you. Be glad to come by anytime you want to be bored with tree work. So
All right.
maybe we'll talk guns or something next time. How about that?
I like the sound of
I
that.
like that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Shake hands. Do we fist bump?
We save that till the cameras are on.
Oh,
we,
okay.
we greet each other with a holy kiss here.
Mr. Boykin would love you.
Epstein?
How's it going?
I don't know, since I'm in the room with you, I'm kind of nervous.
Have a great week, everybody.
Yes.
Later.